All right, guys, just want to look at the GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And this is where a lot of institutions and stuff can actually be buying Bitcoin. Now, it's at this point, you can see this sort of action here. Like structurally, it's not that bearish overall, right? It's not great, but how do I, like I put this chart here because it reminds me of this. I know we have not dumped into the white 100 moving average yet, but you can see when you get that dump back down, it can actually go into a period of chop, prolonged chop. When you get a dump down like this, there can be this sort of action, before making that move again. As you can see, we got this here, and then we make that move, the BART back up. Price will struggle and most likely not just BART back up. You need to build accumulation. Okay, so if we look at that and we take that into consideration, let's go to the weekly chart here. So they're both on the same sort of pattern or whatever, same time frame. Now, it still means that Bitcoin would need to probably build a bigger range here, right? And a lot of people don't know what is actually going to happen here. And when you don't know what's going to happen, there's a good chance there's going to be chop. But when you look at the GBTC chart, it looks like it's in an uptrend. It looks like these white 100 moving averages are moving up, and these moving averages are moving up. It doesn't look like that we're going to break some structure here, like here, and drop through, for example. Like even you can see that this drop back here into the white 100 moving average, it was actually a very bullish and very, very nice place to be buying Bitcoin when, of course, in hindsight, but this actually built a blueprint for success pattern, and well, we can see what happened out of that. Actually, I moved this to a 2-week chart now, and you can see again, when you're building pressure and the red 200 moving average is down here, it means that you're in a long-term uptrend, right? This is not going to change on Bitcoin. This is not going to change at all on Bitcoin. This is going higher. Even worst case scenario, Bitcoin drops down into that and then goes to $100,000. But Bitcoin will go to $100,000. When you have, this is Apple here, just for example, could pick any stock with a long-term 200 moving average. But when you have a red 200 moving average below price, right? When you have that below price, the likelihood is that the long-term trend is up. You don't change this moving average. And the greatest buying opportunities that you will probably ever get are actually pierces below the 2-week moving average down in here. I mean, I'm not saying that we're going to get this back to $5,000, because by the time price gets down there, these moving averages will have continued to move higher and higher and higher and higher. So wherever we get to this point, maybe it'll be up here. Maybe we chop about and whatever for a while, and then we do it here. For example, I'm just saying, buying below this red 200 moving average should, in theory, be an amazing opportunity. And I don't know where that'll be yet, because this moving average, the red 200 moving average, cannot roll over, right? It cannot roll over and go to zero. It'll continue its merry way. Here's Microsoft, for example. Now it's in a bullish trend, very much like Bitcoin was, obviously, from down here. You get the consolidation base, the red 200 moving average forms on the chart, and price starts to skyrocket. There is dips, of course. You can see, we're definitely get some dips and consolidations. But the trend, is higher. dips into this should be good buying opportunities. Well, look what's happening here, and then look what happens. You buy below as I mentioned earlier. If you're buying in below this moving average, well, look where it can actually go. It can actually, surprise people. So Bitcoin is very, very new. How high can it go? I have no idea. Look at Bank of America. This is a great example, actually, because you know when when price is so far away from the red 200 moving average, it means that dips are a buying opportunity. It means that dips are a buying opportunity in a long-term uptrend. How do you how is that trend over? How is the long-term trend over? Well, when you start getting close to it like this and prices kind of consolidating in alongside it, and then price can easily break down, when price can safely break below it. Okay, when you dip from a high level down into the moving average, that's not safely breaking below it. That's a pullback. That's a dip into the moving averages to continue the trend higher. This is what Bitcoin has. Bitcoin is far away from the moving average. Dips down into it are buying opportunities for the longer term trend to continue to the upside. I'm not saying we're dipping back to the red 200 moving average. I'm just merely pointing out the structure in Bitcoin and what it should imply. It should imply more growth eventually when we get out of this mess.